Hi, my name is Selena. Do you know the feeling of having an annoying sister in your life who is just there to ruin everything for you? Well, mine is a psycho jealous sister. She used my condition against me, but I got rid of her eventually. You see, I was born to super rich parents who owned more than half the city, and after I was born, they just went crazy with happiness. On my first tooth party, my dad organized a water park party for all the kids, but when Mom brought me outside, I started yelling and my skin turned super red, like blood. Luckily, there was a doctor in the crowd and he came running to help. I was diagnosed with extreme photosensitivity that would only increase as I aged. Basically, I could never step out in the sun without getting burned. After that, my parents always kept me indoors during the day, and all the windows were covered with black curtains. Once when I was 4, I cried and said, "I want to go to school and have friends." "Oh, honey, you can't, but we'll bring them both to you. We'll hire private teachers for you, and we'll get you a pet." They got me a really cute hamster, and he was kind of my best friend. All was good until my little sister was born. Her name was Rita, and she was pure evil. I discovered she was jealous of me once she turned 3. She knew about my condition, but she was still angry that my parents paid more attention to me. On her 3rd birthday, she got me a piece of cake with a candle on it and said, "Now this candle will burn you." "No, honey, I'm only allergic to the sun, not candles." "Oh, so it won't hurt you? Well then, okay." And with that, she threw the candle on my bed, and the blanket instantly caught fire. I started yelling for my parents, and I almost got hurt getting out of the room. Once, when I was 8, Rita threw a tantrum that she wanted to be homeschooled like me, but of course, my parents refused. What made things worse was what happened on my 10th birthday when my parents invited everyone to a super fancy restaurant at night. One sophisticated lady saw me and said to Mom, "Oh, your daughter is very pretty, like too pretty. But the other one, oh, she's not pretty, like at all." "Oh, yes, the youngest one is just ugly. I wonder if she'll ever get married." Just then, Rita stood up and flung juice straight at the women's faces. Then she turned to me. "You just wait and watch, Selena. I'm gonna make you wish you were the ugliest girl on the planet. You'll be praying to God to make you ugly." That night, I was asleep when I heard some noises. I opened my eyes to see Rita holding a big poster of her drawings. Things like her hanging someone up, crucifying others, and taking someone's eye out. "Do you see this eye? It's yours, babe, but one day it's gonna be mine." I stood up and pushed her away and locked the door behind her. She was a total psycho. Over the coming years, Rita just wouldn't understand that I got special treatment because of my condition. I tried to reason with her, so I thought maybe throwing a party where we could both invite our friends would help us get closer. What a stupid decision that was. I was 13 back then and invited the only 2 friends I had, Mark and Emily, while Rita invited half the school. Suddenly, during the party, Rita stood in front of everyone holding up a drawing I'd made. It was the 3 of us, me, Mark, and Emily. "Listen here, everyone. So our Princess Selena can draw, but she also has a little secret. Let me read it for you. I'm so in love with Mark, but I also love Emily. I will soon ask them both out and kiss them both at the same time. I will kidnap Emily if she rejects me. We will be the happiest lovers triangle." Everyone went silent, and Mark and Emily turned red. I couldn't believe my sister would lie like that. "No, you liar! I didn't write that. You just came up with it. Why are you so evil?" "Why are you so perfect?" "I'm not, Rita. I wish I was normal, just like you." "Oh, like me? You wish. I would never have a boyfriend and a girlfriend at the same time. That's just shameless. Ew. You do that to the only 2 people who like you? That's just dumb and gross. Just stop it." Just then, Mike took Emily's hand and left. I was so shocked and embarrassed that I didn't even stop them. I just went to my room and locked the door, and the party continued like nothing had happened. After that day, I knew I had to teach Rita a lesson, and I knew that the best way to tease her was to live my life to the fullest. The very next day, I invited Mark over. When he came to my room, I made sure to leave the door open so Rita could hear everything. Mark, I'm really sorry about last night. You know that my sister is… Listen, Selena, I don't believe a word your psycho sister says, but I was just too embarrassed to say, so I left. I put my finger on his mouth and pulled him closer to kiss him. Mwah! Will you be my boyfriend, Mark? He said yes, and we hugged. Then I heard Rita's room door close very hard. In your face, witch. Over the next 2 years, Rita was always making it obvious how jealous she was of me for having a boyfriend. She even tried to break into my room several times. Once, she used a knife to open it, but luckily I was ready. I attacked her with pepper spray and ran to my parents. Once she brought home a boy who was 4 years older than her. Dad totally lost it and kicked him out. My parents were getting so tired of her craziness. But the last straw was when she called the police at midnight once. To my horror, she slipped her t-shirt off her shoulder to show scratches on her skin, and she pointed accusingly at Mark. That boy, he's dangerous. He attacked me. I barely managed to escape. What? My parents told the cops that she was making it all up, and Mark would never do such a thing. Gosh, if you're so jealous, just get yourself a boyfriend, you ugly psycho bimbo. I expected her to say something harsh, but instead she started crying and fell on her knees. She looked up pleadingly at the cops. See how my family treats me. Just take me away from them. Please, help me. Please save me. What an actress. Next morning, my parents took Rita to a psychologist. Turned out my sister had some issues and needed therapy every few days. But she didn't take that so well. After a few days, when I got back from my date with Mark, I found Rita had prepared meat sandwiches for me. What did she want? To poison me? I said no and went to my room. I wanted to feed my little hamster, but I didn't find him there. I started looking everywhere. Then it hit me. Oh my God! I ran back to her. Where is my hamster? I don't know. What did you do to my hamster? I don't know. Mom, Dad, Rita ate my hamster. And then I passed out. When I woke up, my parents told me that they had talked to Rita's doctor and she might be admitted to a psychiatric ward. I wasn't really happy to hear that, but I knew it was for everyone's safety. A month later, Rita was gone and transferred to that hospital. Life was good, and I had the best time with Mark and Emily. 4 years passed, and it was the day of my graduation. I was so in love with Mark that I wanted to marry him right away, even though we were so young. He agreed, and my parents suggested he move in with us. So he did. During the day, Mark would leave for college, and I would stay home. One day, I called for the maids to get me something to eat, but no one responded. I went downstairs and found no one. Then I heard a familiar voice. I was sure it was the voice of my hamster, but it seemed to be coming from the backyard. I thought I'd just take a quick look and it wouldn't hurt me. But I just popped my head out the door when suddenly someone pulled me out with all their force. Hey, miss me, sis? What are you doing here? Oh, well, they decided to let me go. I feel much better, actually. You really thought your hamster came back to life? Are you still that dumb, you spoiled daddy's girl? And then she pulled me out more, and I was under direct sunlight. It started to hurt my skin, and I screamed. Then I attacked her. One of the maids heard us and came running. When Rita saw her, she let me go and ran away. Thankfully, I wasn't hurt, and my parents told me that Rita had run away from the asylum, and they were looking for her now. I was sad for how things had turned out in my family, but my sadness was short-lived because I soon found out that I was pregnant, and 9 months later, I gave birth at home to my beautiful daughter, and I named her Sally. When Sally started to crawl, we all knew she was a really curious, naughty baby. Once, she crawled out the kitchen door and out into the backyard, and she was completely quiet. I got scared and ran after her with the maids. When I got there, I saw another basket next to her, and a freaking baby in it. It was a boy. The note next to him said, "This is John, your nephew. I gave birth to him months ago and wanted to raise him, but I discovered that was hard. So I sent him to you, Selena. Take care of him, I guess." I looked at the baby's face and tears rolled down my cheeks. I kissed his forehead. This Rita was full of surprises. When I was about to shut the door and run to my parents, someone pushed it against me. It was Rita. "Oh, you're crying." And she pulled me into the backyard again. Thankfully, the maids were able to catch her and call the police. Rita was sent to jail this time, and I got a restraining order. Me and my family were finally safe. And baby John? Yeah, he was hers, and he lived with us. I raised him like mine. And now I have 4 kids, and we are a happy family.
I looked over my shoulder, making sure no one was around. Then I grabbed 3 of my shirts and stuffed them into my bag. I had to run away tonight. It was now or never. Just then my mom barged into the room and yelled, "Why are you still here?" I was studying. Studying? Go milk the cows. Books are not for you, stupid girl. I rolled my eyes and grabbed the milk bucket. Hi, I'm Amara from Greece. I was all set up to run away from my village to escape a terrible fate, when I suddenly got an opportunity that changed my life forever. But before I continue, click like and subscribe. The next day in class, our teacher barged in and wrote a question on the board. "Now who can solve this?" I looked around and then raised my hand. No sweat! As soon as I was done solving the question, I saw everyone staring at a tall woman walking towards me to the front of the classroom. "So, you're the famous Amara. Your teachers did say you were a genius." "Signomi, who are you?" "She's Miss Mercedes, the vice principal of a huge school in the city. She's come here to offer a scholarship to the smartest kid in class." I just stood staring at her, my mouth open. Was this for real? "I don't have all day, child. Will you accept it?" Yes, absolutely. Just the day I had planned to run away, I'd been given a scholarship? I was being saved by God. 20 minutes later, my teacher was at my house, trying to convince Mama to let me go, but she kept shaking her head stubbornly. "Mama, I'm not doing this for myself. I want to be a doctor so I can take care of you." For a minute, I thought she might actually give in, but then she started to scream. "I've told you! Your place is here. What will you do at a school?" Then Miss Mercedes took out 50 euros and handed them to Mama. Okay, maybe it's not so bad to go to school. The next day, I was at a train station with my mom, and hundreds of villagers had gathered to bid me goodbye. I tearfully hugged Mama, and she spat at me 3 times for good luck. Ftoo, ftoo, ftoo. Then she put a talisman around my neck. "My darling girl, take this. It will bring you good fortune. Come back rich and make your mama proud." I rolled my eyes, but accepted it. And then suddenly every woman was giving me a talisman of her own. I finally hopped onto the train and was so impatient to leave, I could almost push it. Just then, the train started moving away. I couldn't believe it. I was actually getting out of here. I could almost dance with joy. "Sit down. I will be watching you constantly. One wrong move, and I'll have your stupid villager butt back here in no time." When we finally got to the house I'd be staying at, I was spellbound. Lots of servants were waiting for us outside. At the front was a man with kind eyes. Oh, I'd seen guys like him in movies. "You must be the butler. Please take my bag." There was a pin-drop silence for a moment, and everyone looked horrified. Then the butler burst out into laughter. "You stupid girl! Does he look like a butler? He's the owner of this house and your benefactor, Mr. Armitage." "What? Sir, I'm so sorry. Oh, never mind. I'm just happy to see you, and I'm sure you'll do wonderful things." I noticed he had tears in his eyes. He seemed nice, but a bit weird. When Miss Mercedes led me to my room, I was thrilled to see it was full of books, and there was a TV and a really fancy-looking laptop. I jumped onto the huge bed in delight. Is this really all mine? Are you crazy? This is Dakota's room and her bed. You will sleep there. Before I could ask her who she was, the door flew open and a girl barged in. Oh my God! Miss Mercedes, why is there a beggar on my bed? Miss Dakota. She's a scholarship student. She'll be sharing your room because she can learn lots of things from you. Like manners. Ugh, I'm talking to Daddy about this. And with that, the girl stormed off. That's Dakota, a real girl of the city. Later that evening, as I roamed around the house, I was walking past the library when I heard Miss Mercedes' voice. "I don't see why you needed to bring that girl here. We have so many other smart kids in our school. I've told you, I have my reasons." I held my breath as I listened closer. I wanted to know why he'd chosen me. Just then someone whispered in my ear and I nearly screamed. Are they talking about something interesting? There was a handsome boy next to me, with his ear pressed to the door. I quickly walked off and he followed me, introducing himself as Gavin, Miss Mercedes' son. He said he and his mom lived here. Are you a new maid? Do I look like a maid to you? Oh, I'm sorry. Save it, city boy. You're all alike. Proud city people. I joined school after a couple of days, and I was so excited. When the first math lesson was about to start, a girl whispered to me, "Psst, you can tell me if you don't understand stuff. I'll help you." I was about to thank her when she continued, "I'm sure the only math you know is counting cows." Why were these people such jerks? Just then, the teacher walked in and started writing a word problem on the board. There are 85 people in a warehouse. Some of them had turned into zombies, some are still alive. If the ratio of zombies to humans is 2 to 3, how many zombies are there? Seriously? This was so easy. My pet goat could solve this. But I was shocked to see that everyone in class was just staring blankly. I quietly said, 34. The teacher turned to me. What did you say? I believe the correct answer is 34 zombies. He immediately sat down on his desk and started working out the problem. 10 minutes later, he looked up at me in complete shock. It is 34! How did you do that so fast? And before I knew it, I was being rushed off to the principal's office and the maths teacher was insisting that I was a genius and should be bumped up a grade. That night, Mr. Armitage couldn't stop raving over dinner about how smart I was, and I could see that both Miss Mercedes and Dakota were not happy. A few days later, Miss Mercedes came to me and dumped a pile of dirty clothes on me. You lazy girl. From now on, you'll be doing the laundry. I picked up the clothes and walked to the laundry room. The washing machine with all its buttons was making me feel so nervous. I never used one. But then I told myself, you're Amara. You can do anything. I held my breath and pressed one button. Nothing. Another. Nothing again. A third, and the machine began to roar. Foam and water shot out, and I screamed as I tried to stop it. Then I heard someone laughing. I turned to find Gavin leaning against the wall. What are you looking at? Nothing at all. I was just wondering why they brought you here. But for now, you just need to know that you're pretty cute. Move aside. I'll show you. And he unloaded the first batch of laundry. As he unloaded the first batch of laundry, he said, "And that's how it's done." He wiped a soap bubble off my nose, and my heart skipped a beat. He was looking right into my eyes. Wait, was he about to kiss me? Just when his face was just inches away from mine, Dakota burst into the room, and she looked crazy mad. "What do you think you're doing, village witch? You live under my roof, and this is how you repay me? By stealing my boyfriend?" "Dakota, we're not dating." "Oh, are you dating her then?" "Maybe I am. It's none of your business." She screamed and stomped out of the room. Before Gavin could say anything else, I ran out of there. I really didn't need all this drama. The next few days, I tried to avoid Gavin, and Dakota pretended like I didn't even exist. But then one morning, as I was getting ready for school, she threw something on my bed. It was an iPhone. "Daddy wanted you to have my old one, so whatever. If you have questions, ask Siri." "Who's Siri? A girl at school?" Dakota turned to me. "No, but she's a nerd like you, and you guys will get along really well. Here's her address. You can meet her there." After school that day, I decided to pay Siri a visit. I followed the directions and was confused when I ended up in the creepy parking garage of an abandoned mall. I immediately decided to leave, but just then, someone put a hand on my shoulder. "What you doing here, kid? Did the cops send you?" I turned around in horror to see 3 huge men behind me. I tried to make a dash for it, but I tripped over something and fell. Ow! "Are you hurt, little girl?" "You will be if you don't step away from her this minute." From behind the goons stepped out Gavin and some police officers. As the police took them away, he helped me walk to the car. Later at home, Mr. Armitage was extremely distressed. "It's so lucky Gavin tracked your phone's location when you didn't come home. But why would you go to such a place, child?" "I guess I just got lost. I was only looking for Siri at the address Dakota gave me." Everyone suddenly froze and looked at me like I was crazy. Then Mr. Armitage turned to Dakota and started shouting at her. "I can't believe you would play such a horrible prank. You put Amara's life in danger." "But Dad, I didn't think she was stupid enough to actually go." "Not another word. I'm really disappointed in you. Just go to your room." Dakota burst into tears and ran away. Gavin helped me to the guest bedroom and gave me a goodnight kiss on the cheek. Just as I was drifting off to sleep, I suddenly sat up in bed, startled. There was a shadowy figure standing in the doorway. It was Miss Mercedes, staring right at me. "Amara, you listen to me very carefully. Stay away from my Gavin. He's supposed to be with a rich girl like Dakota. If you want to keep your little secret, you won't mess with me." And with that, she walked away. I was horrified. Could she really know? I couldn't sleep. Later that night, I got up to get water when I saw a light coming from the study. I peeked in to see Mr. Armitage at his desk, looking worried. He spotted me at the door and told me to come in. When I asked him if something was wrong, he sighed. "I don't know why we're making losses. It's just all a mess." "Mind if I take a look?" He looked really surprised, but nodded. As I started to go through the accounts, I began spotting some problems and gave him a few suggestions to fix them. He looked stunned. Oh, wow! What a gifted young girl you are! I can't wait for you to be part of my company one day. Wait, me? A part of his company? That would be such a dream. Listen, Amara, I'm going away on a business trip, but once I'm back, there's something really important I have to talk to you about. You should go to bed now. But I woke up the next morning to the most horrible news. We found out that Mr. Armitage had been in a bad car accident on his way to the airport. We rushed to the hospital and waited for hours for the doctors to give us some news. Dakota couldn't stop crying, and I put my arm around her. The doctors finally told us that he'd suffered head trauma, but was conscious now. Dakota went rushing to him. Daddy! And she hugged him and cried on his chest. He stroked her hair and said he was just fine. He smiled at everyone, and then his gaze fell on me. And who is this young lady? We all looked at him in shock. It's me, Mr. Armitage. Amara. He looked confused. I'm so sorry, but you're not familiar to me at all. When we told this to the doctor, he said that it was possible the head trauma had made him lose his short-term memory, and he couldn't remember recent events. There was no way to know for sure if it would come back. I was devastated that he didn't even remember me anymore, and now I would never even know what he wanted to talk to me about. A few days after Mr. Armitage had been moved back home, Miss Mercedes walked into the dining room and dumped a bag on the floor. It was my bag. I've made a decision. I'm sending you back to your village, Amara. Mr. Armitage doesn't even know who you are anymore, so I don't see any point of keeping you here. I stared at her in horror. Oh my God, I couldn't go back. Suddenly, Dakota got up from the table. She's not going anywhere. I don't exactly love her, but my dad wanted her here, so she'll stay. Yeah, Mama. Why would she go now? Besides, we really like having her here. The vein on Miss Mercedes' head looked like it was gonna pop, but she just pursed her lips and walked out of the room. A few weeks passed peacefully. Mr. Armitage was recovering well, but still didn't remember me. I was doing really well at school, though, and Gavin and I had started going out. Little did I know that this was the calm before the storm. One night at dinner, there were 2 extra plates at the table. When Gavin asked his mom who was coming, she just said excitedly, "Oh, you'll see." I don't love him. Gavin, you have to believe me. Gavin just looked at me and walked away. I was about to run after him when Dimitri grabbed my arm. Can you please pay some attention to me, your future husband? There was complete silence in the room. You and your family will pay for this, Amara. And with that, he stormed off. Mama burst into tears and said I had to come home and fix things with Dimitri, or she and my siblings would be kicked out of our house. She looked so much weaker, and it broke my heart to see her cry. I said I would leave with her the next day. The next morning, as we were leaving, I told Mama that I wanted to say goodbye to Mr. Armitage. Mr. Armitage, you don't remember everything you've done for me, but I wanted to thank you. What do you mean I don't remember, Amara? I know exactly why I brought you here. I looked at him in shock. Wait, your memory's back? Just then, Mama came running, saying Dimitri was waiting for us, but she suddenly froze. She and Mr. Armitage were staring at each other like they'd seen ghosts. You, how dare you trick my child and take her away from me? Amara, we're going, now! She dragged me towards the door and I kept yelling at her to let me go. Please, just stop! I was going to tell her everything. I'm really sorry I didn't take a stand for you all those years ago, but I'm trying to fix all that now with our daughter. Dakota and I shrieked together. Daughter? Dimitri put an arm around each of our shoulders. Huh, you're sisters? That's so cute. I can't wait to get married to Amara and have daughters of my own. Get your filthy hands off my daughters! After he and Gavin kicked Dimitri out, Mr. Armitage walked over to Mom. Please, give me another chance. For our daughter's sake. She's not your daughter. Her father left us a few years ago. You men are all the same. Mr. Armitage looked stunned. Then he looked at me and said, Oh, she's not? Well, yeah, okay. Actually, that doesn't matter. I think she's an amazing girl, and I would like her to stay. I can send her to the best school and university, and pay for your treatments. I'll even pay off your debts. For a second, Mom looked shocked, and then she jumped at him and hugged him. My darling, I missed you so much. Well, long story short, Mom did give him another chance. He paid off our debt, and Mama and my siblings moved to the city too for her treatment. Dakota and I are kind of friends now, although she did kick me out of her room. And most importantly, Mr. Armitage fired Miss Mercedes after he found out she'd try to get rid of me. She and Gavin moved out, but he refused to stop seeing me. So he's still my boyfriend. Who'd have thought things would turn around so much for a poor village girl?